Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Vallen, and this is SevTech Ages. So, this looks totally different from the last time that I played. The reason being is because I got all ahead of myself, and I started recording the series before the official release, so don't do as I did. So therefore I had to re-roll my world. It's just a thing that had to happen because there was too many issues that were going to be caused and that were being caused with me trying to stick with the old world. So I rolled a new one. I have a seed here that I can put in if you guys want to follow along. There is the seed. I will try and put it in the description below so that you can still copy it as well and paste it. I've done a lot. I really haven't done more than like one thing besides base building since last time I was recording. And this is the new base. Let's actually go over here and I'll show you how it looks. It's this cool little waterfall area here, and I was like, you know what, I just totally have to have a base that's like underneath a waterfall. That's just awesome. So I did, and actually it's been feeding me fish regularly, which is quite nice. I just need to on occasion wander over here and see if there are any fish in the corner. If they don't automatically die, then they just get washed up into the corner, and I just poke them a couple times. So it's been really good. Also, I took, because there's water over here, even flowing water is hydrating my crops. So I took some of the little cropland I had, put it there. I do have some more over here that came with the island as well that I'm on. What kind of an island? I don't know. I feel like I'm on a bit of an island because it's such a jagged peak around this edge. And when you spawn into this world, you'll probably spawn just over into this little area here, which actually, right where I'm pointing now, is one of where those little like slothy abyssal craft layers is, which is really interesting. If I bring up my atlas, I've got a whole bunch of locations nearby. To the northwest is the Darkling Village, which is pretty much over the mountain area. This is all water along here. There is that Abyssal Craft cave that I was saying, and your spawn area is somewhere around there. So you're going to want to head kind of westish if you want to get to the same spot. But you should see it. And then up here I've got some llamas that I found. I probably should have tamed it and brought it back, but I figured that would be part of this episode. And this map, by the way, is fantastic. You can zoom way out and see the different things that I have here. You can see I did like some serious travels at one point. You can just keep it at a reasonable rate. I put both a bed and an X because the bed was very difficult to see on this two-tone map. So I wanted the red X being for that. But you can add markers, delete markers, you can hide all the markers just so you can see the map better if you want. And if you notice, like this looks kind of broken. It's like, what is that? Well, if you zoom in far enough, you'll see it's actually a river. So just keep that in mind, that when you zoom out, it's not going to be like perfect or anything. It still keeps everything relatively like this one block size or something like that. And then of course you can export stuff. You can click to follow back where you are if you are scrolling around on the map and it goes off there. You can just click that. Then you just escape and you get back and you can click it. Of course, if you have it off your hotbar, it's gone. So that map is very key. But there you go. I mean, I've got my bushes. I've got this little path, which, by the way, you move faster on paths. And I made a little trap area because I kept on getting mobs like coming down or up into my base, which is now pretty well lit. I made some really interesting stuff. Just 3 vines makes these. They're little traps. If I look here, there are vine traps, which is just 3 vines in a crafting grid makes a vine trap. And it's a fake block. Mobs will think that it is actually ground and they'll walk over it, but they'll just fall right through. And I put a bunch of these little Venus flytrap guys down here inside, which they pretty much will kill things. And as it's a 2-block deep, it should be able to accept most mobs. I think maybe a spider might be able to get out of there, but I'm not really that bothered by it. It keeps like creepers and other mobs like that from just wandering in. And there are other methods that I could do that as well. But for now, I just thought that one was kind of creative, a little bit of fun. This tunnel back here doesn't really go anywhere. It does go up and through out to the back side of the mountain. I tossed a chicken in there, which is kind of interesting. And if you notice here, look, I've got some stuff in my inventory. If I hold shift and click this, merge to nearby chests, boop, the things that are already in chests over here will all automatically go in there in most cases. Now I was holding on to the seeds, so it's not going to put the seeds in there. And the wheat that I have, actually that should have gone in too. Oh, I guess it's because it's on my hotbar. That's why. It doesn't take things on my hotbar. But I did have, I don't anymore. I now have grain, vegetable, and protein, and I'm missing fruit. So if I take like half a stack of these, I've got all 4 food groups. Now, the reason I've got all 4 is because I've already maxed out my nutrition. I recommend, if you are trying to do that, because look, I've got like a second row of hearts, I'm well nourished, I've got strength and resistance going on. I also got myself a pair of wolf leggings in the process of this. I made myself a wolf hood because I didn't actually get one to drop. And yeah, it's been good. So yeah, the nutrition mod has been fantastic. As I was saying, I recommend just go for one of the 4. That way, unless it's like really, really low, then you want to boost those ones up. But just go for one of them. Like if you have a whole lot of those berries, that way you'll get at least one benefit. And then you can focus on another one and then just occasionally top up the other one. You should never really have to carry a whole lot of food on you. I like to, so that I can just keep this maxed out and not have to worry about it. Every now and then, if I've got a calm moment, I'll check and look to see what foods I need. Plus, you'll notice I have these really weird blocks in here. This is thanks to a flint work blade. If you put down a block, you shift, right click, you can start making stairs in things, and they work differently from a vanilla stairway. Oh my gosh. All right, so let me show you. You can go up here, and yes, I can push forwards. Or I can just look up, and I will shoot out the top. Wah! Ugh, yes, it is true. And the same thing will happen going down, provided that you're actually on the ladder. That's the thing, though, is that going down, you can fall off. So if I go down pressing up against this side instead of the side with the little ladder on it, I will actually fall. So you do need to be up against this side and look down, and you'll be fine, actually. You should be fine. And I've got just another one over here. And I've got stuff here prepared for today's episode that I am hoping to get through. And let's go through those achievements real quick. I've got everything back the way it was. I think the only thing I did to cheat in this was, I think like when I started, I just kind of flew around a little bit in the general area in game mode 1 just to see if it had the same basic resources. The only thing I did not see nearby was a village, which as it turned out, according to this, there was one just on the other side. Like, I think it's over here somewhere beyond this structure, which, by the way, that structure provided me with 4 torches and a lightning bug jar that I can't even do anything with, which is sad because I would love to have that as an option to, put things, to light things up, which that's pretty much what the lightning bugs are for. They're from the Twilight Forest. But this area here, oh, there's a chicken. I wanted to show you guys, you can pick up certain mobs. They have to be small, or certain items like chests or barrels or things of that nature, like if you're transporting water. Which this guy here, if I get him to hold still long enough, which might be more challenging than I thought, let's get over here, shift, right click, with both hands empty, mind you, and you should, whoops, pick him up. It's longer than a short click, and you don't want to actually do it so that it's like kind of, you don't just want to hold right click down, or else you'll do what I just did there and you'll place the chicken back down again. So it's like a half a second right click. So shift, half a second right click. And then you can actually, you can run, you can sneak with these guys, and you can pretty much take them places. So if you want more chickens, which I do in this case, you can feasibly kind of do this. Let's put him down there. There we go. He's now going to go into the base. Bye, little dude. I'll see you on the other side. I'll pick him up later on. I'll toss him in with the other chicken, and then I can harvest the drops from them, which are great because chickens will regularly drop eggs, which will give you a source of protein that you can cook for free, and you don't have to go fishing or looking for any of the other stuff. It's not exactly like massive, but yeah. Anyway, so as I said, I found some llamas. Llamas can be interesting. Actually, I'm going to jump down here and then grab onto the ladder before I hit the bottom. There we go. Hello, chicken. Let me put you in the other area with the other chicken. I'm not going to throw you in on the Venus flytraps. Don't worry. You're fine. Can I? There we go. Put you down there. That might be an awkward spot, but I don't think that you're going to go too far. Anyway, the idea that I have here is to make some leather leads and bladders. I guess the big wall for today is going to be leather. And in order to make one, you need bladder than nothing, which actually it's kind of funny. You need a bladder in order to make leather, which normally bladders are made from some kind. Well, I guess it's made from like a stomach or something in a similar way, but no buckets, use a fluid bladder. So let's make a bladder first, which is going to be made with some brown dye powder, plant twine, and some ink sacs. If you don't have ink sacs, you can improvise, I think. Well, actually, that recipe might be very specific. I don't know. I think it is, but you can find some squid. Worst case, you've got Black Lotus that you can grind up. On which, yes, I have a massive amount of stuff over here now. I made 3 at a time, except for the fireplaces. I made 2, and it's just so that I could have multiple varieties of things cooking at once. And it's been fantastic. Oh, the one achievement that I got, I should mention, is this. It's a better stump. That's right, folks. I got a better stump. Work Stump Mark II. So the difference between the Work Stump and the Work Stump Mark II, which it's made with an old stump, so you have to have a stump to make a Work Stump Mark II. And it has to be made on a work stump to start with, because I haven't progressed far enough. But I had to make a shelf, 2 chopping blocks, which we know a chopping block, and some sort of either dark oak, eucalyptus, or sakura wood. And a shelf, by the way, is made with just a bunch of wood and a rock, which is pretty easy. Now, sakura wood, I actually found over there, which I'm not going to... I almost fell in there with the... I'm going to yet, folks. I'm going to fall in there with the Venus flytraps. But I found the sakura woods over there. I just went and grabbed a few pieces, and I banged together this Mark II unit, which... if you look here, holds full stacks per slot. Upgraded version of the basic work stump. Oh my gosh, no more. I need to craft 1 chest, 2 chests. No. I recommend before you make all this crap, go with this. Because it even gets a little, like, bed for its crafting rock. I mean, how awesome of an upgrade is that, right? So... this thing is excellent. And yes, you could probably put it down into the ground. I've seen some other people have done that as well. But then you don't get access to your pet rock's bed, your crafting rock there, which I do really like it. This just looks really nice. I'm liking this new setup. The old setup was good too, but this is much more lush. And I do like really pretty colors in my Minecraft playthrough. So I guess this works better anyway. Besides, it's not really a big pain to replay the beginning of this masterful pack made by Darkosto. So let's put some of these drops away. And here, actually, I've got that egg, right? Let's throw it. Blech. It turns into a raw egg, which you can eat for 1% protein, or you can cook it. And you can get yourself a little bit of cooked egg. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. We're needing to make a bladder. So, let's bring up bladder. There it is. Fluid bladder. And we need some brown dye powder, which, easiest way to get that, I went out and looked this up already, is going to be manzanita bush, which it looks just like this out in the wild. In fact, I'll plant one down. There you go. Looks like that. And then you just kind of grab it. Oh gosh. Run over the pit. And then you grind it up. Put it on here. And when you grind them up, you get, I think it's only just 1 brown dye powder each. Now, there are other options for you to get brown dye powder in probably greater quantities. But I now have those. That's done. And then I'm going to need some of the plant twine, which It's the problem now. Now I don't see all my stuff. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I was having problems just finding it. And an ink sac, which is going to be in my mob drops. Here we go. So now I just take these 1, 2. And the other thing is it actually takes less wax with your crafting rock to make things on the Mark II. So it's 1, 2, 3 instead of 5 wax on there. And now I have a fluid bladder. Woohoo! Yay! Okay. Okay, it's not really that impressive, but I can now move water. And the best way to move water is with a barrel and carry on, which It's a really good mod as well. So, I think it's made by T-Ship, I think. I might have that pronunciation wrong, but let's look up barrels. There's tons of different barrels. Let's look up oak barrels, slab, and some wood, right? It's no biggie. It's actually pretty good. And in fact, I forgot to even chop up some wood. And this is another reason why we're getting animals today, is because I'm so done with getting wood chopped in this manner. All right, so I now have some wood planks and a slab, which if I aim properly, I should be able to do this. Grab slab, put it there, crafting rock. Here we go. And I get myself a barrel. And people are probably wondering, what good is a barrel? It will hold up to 8 buckets of water, which in itself is useful. But then you're thinking, well, if I break it, will it keep the water? No, it won't. But thanks to Carry On, you can. Now here's the thing though. Water is finite in all biomes except river and ocean. Not actually near either. So that means that I have to use water that is out in my lake out here. And I'm hoping that I might be able to replenish it in the future. But for now, I'm just going to kind of go over to this area that isn't quite so visible to my base and put it down right there. Grab my bladder that I have here, fluid bladder, and start filling it up. Oh, I am in a river biome. Okay, I'm very fortunate. Okay, this is good. I did not change any settings, folks. I'm just very fortunate that this is the proper biome. Okay, and in fact, I'm going to grab another one just because I know I'm going to need it. Now, shift, right click, haha. And now I can just run around here with this, and I see that I've got some sheep over there too. Oh, I think I just heard a spider. That's not good. So I'm going to try and get this into my house, hopefully without falling into a pit. There we go, and I'll just drop this here. I now have some water inside my base. Oh, so good. All right, so now fluid bladder is going to be used to make a whole bunch of other stuff, primarily leather. So if we look up leather, there's a lot of different things on here, but we're just going to want to go for regular old leather. The only option we have available to us is with the drying rack, but it has to be a wet tanned hide that's dried. So how do you do that? Fluid bladder plus dried hide plus ground resin. Wait a minute, dried hide? How do I get dried hide? Dried hide is made from salted hide that's been dried for 2 minutes. So this is a time sink item, but it's not too bad. I mean, there are plenty of things that could take a lot longer than this. So salted hide, raw hide, plus a fluid bladder, plus some kind of salt. Now there are several different kinds of salt, some of which are easier than others. It recommends you go to a dry biome. Personally, I found, oh god, ooh, okay, ow, okay. I was more scared than any kind of damage was caused there. I don't know how I got out of there. I don't have any kind of jump boost going on. Maybe that thing counts as some kind of vine and I can climb out. Ooh, I might have to make that pit deeper so that I make sure that I die next time. But I found at the bottom of some rivers that I had traveled through what was actually turned out to be, oops, come here, a bunch of mechanism salt, which is very, very common. You're going to find it everywhere. So that's pretty much what I did. There we go. Got a bunch of sugar cane. Always got to harvest the stuff. You're going to need so many materials in the future that it's not going to hurt to gather this stuff now. All right. So I've got my fluid bladder. I've got a bunch of salt. I also shoveled up a little bit of snowballs. I don't know why. They don't do any damage when you throw them at enemies, but they at least keep a creeper away if you're desperate enough and running around. So I've got salt. I've got fluid bladder, and so, oh my gosh, I didn't expect that it's a water barrel. Come on. Okay, folks. Be sure to learn from my mistakes, not to put that near fire sources. Let's keep it out here by the waterfall for now. Oh my gosh. Okay, flaming barrels of water. Unexpected results. So we're going to want to start, before we get salt and fluid bladder, with rawhide, which is, yeah, that's right, giddy up rawhide. We've got any of the different pelts you can get from the animals, plus a work blade, can get you some kind of rawhide, including sharks. And the work blade is so far been just an all-around great tool in general. So let's grab, I've got a bunch of pelts in here, things I've been keeping. I'm going to try and use my wolf pelts last because I would like to turn that into armor, but if I need more leather, I might do that. But I think I'll be okay because it gets me 4 for each cowhide. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Sheep pelts, I think, give me a good number as well. What is it for pig pelts? 2. Let's do sheep. And we'll do those. And you know what? Let's just do all those. That gets me 48. Okay, that's actually really, really good. I'm going to save the wolf pelts for now. Put them back in there, and perhaps I can fill out the rest of my wolf armor. So, let's start off with this. We've got rawhide plus fluid bladder plus this is going to make salted hide, but that's just one. So there's going to be a little bit of fun involved with this. So let's go stand over here by the water. So let's go over here and put my bladder down, fill it up. Oh, too bad I can't put these things in my upper inventory. But anyway, I'm going to do this for quite a while, get myself a whole bunch of salted hides so that I can then move on to the next step. And there we go. Believe it or not, I did do that 48 times. Oh, I'm just going to grab another thing of water just because I don't want to mess with that anymore. All right, so let's head on back and get the next step going, which is to take the salted hide that I've just made and turn it into dried hide, which does take a bit of time. You can feasibly just kind of do what I did, make a whole bunch of drying racks and lie them out like so. Wait a couple minutes, and then you'll be good for the next set. And as you can see, the drying racks are doing the job, and everything is drying up. There we go. Just make sure that you've made drying racks and not item racks, or else you'll be waiting a lot longer. Now, while those are all drying up, there is something else that you can work on. Let's see if I have a bunch of oak bark, thankfully. So you're going to want to take that, and while that's drying, start grinding it up, because you're going to need it for the next step, which, if you're curious, let's see, use here, ground resin, which is made on a grindstone, specifically this one, to make that resin. You just need to keep on doing this. So you might as well do that while you're waiting for the other stuff to dry. Oh my gosh. I think my arms are about to fall off. This has been very, very tedious and ridiculous. Okay. 48 ground resin. And I'm going to put the remaining oak bark back, which, by the way, if you want oak bark, putting it into an inventory grid with a flint work blade does work, but it's best if you place it down on the ground. For instance, let's place it here, and then use your work blade, and just right-clicking doesn't do it. You need to shift right-click, and you might get several pieces. In this case, ooh, I got really lucky. I got 4. I now have a lot of ground resin. I have a lot of dried hide, as it has been used. I just need fluid bladders, which means I need to go stand by the water and grab 48 more bladders worth. Okay, there we go. 48 wet, tanned hide. And I keep hearing, there he is. I got a sheep here, but I can't pick up, oh, I guess I can pick up sheep. I know that you can't pick up larger animals. I might take this guy back and toss him in with the chickens for now so that I know that he's going to be safe, and I have a source of wool, perhaps even protein, in the future. The first signs of leather being made. Oh, it kind of warms the heart a little bit there. All right, there we go. 48 leather. And what can we do with leather? Actually, a whole heck of a lot of stuff. Let me just put this food away real quick. So, things that we can do with leather. One of which is to make a lead. And we're going to need leads to make a horse grindstone, which is not just for horses to use. If you want, you can click on the information tab. It tells you all about how to make it or how to set it up, which is actually really not that bad. It's a lot of words, but it's much easier to demonstrate. So that's what I'm going to try and do. So first, leads, which we need leather cordage, which needs leather strips, which is just a working tool with some leather. I'm going to do 3 of these because I'm going to need a lot of leather strips at some point. So there. All right, 27 of those. Now here's where this table comes in place. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, just craft up a whole bunch of this and I should be good to go. And then just smash it a whole bunch of times and eventually a bunch of these pop out. And look at this, I got a bunch of leads. So here's the thing, I could go and get a bunch of animals, but what would I tie them up to? Nothing. This is why I want to make these items first. So let's start off with the horse grindstone. And then smash it with a rock. And we now have 2 of these, which I'm going to keep with me at the moment because I still want to make the other tools as well. There and there. Smash it with a rock. Smash. Smashy. Okay, cool. And now we have horse chopping block as well. And then what else can we make? The horse press, which actually isn't going to be as useful, but for now I can use it as something to tie a friendly to. So if you look at the use for this, you can turn seeds into dirt. You can turn charcoal into charcoal blocks. Basically, it's a compression mechanic. Unfamiliar items into more unfamiliar items. So I imagine I'll probably want to use this thing in the future. But for now, it's going to act as a fence post for me. And a stick. There we go. Now, smash it once again. And there we go. Now I have these items. What do I do with them? I'm going to place all of them up top, where you saw the strange structures that I had going. So let's head up there and take a look at things. Oh boy, I love this thing. Woo! Yeah. So I made this so that I can lead animals in for now, which is just a 1 block in, and then lead them in. And I can actually build these things on place, and then I can block them in. And then there's a 2 block area wall around the outside edge, which should keep all mobs out except for spiders, perhaps. So I should be all right at that point. But for now, we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. There we go. And these act as fence posts in a way. And the basic area and how they work is you can put something like, oh, I don't even have anything with me here, but you could, oh, I got myself some wolf boots. Nice. All right. I'm completing the set automatically here. You can put something to be ground in this, just like you would a regular manual grindstone downstairs. And then you attach a beast of burden, whether it be a buffalo, which is a converted cow from the totemic, which we do have access to, or you can use a horse, or in my case, I'm going to try and use a llama. But I want to make sure that it is a little closer to morning, because I don't want the llamas to run into any kind of problems with nearby mobs. So let's actually go make a way to make it so. 0. Okay, all the way down. We're going to make a mat, a sleeping mat. And yes, you can actually create a spawn point with this. So the recipe with that is going to be a bunch of thatch, which is going to be made, don't worry, not necessarily with the horse or a chopping block, but on a chopping block, you can make thatch, which is dry thatching, which is in a dry kiln, you take wet thatch, which is made from fresh thatching, which is made from rush stems, rush tips, blooming rush tips, or rush stems. What? It's crazy. And basically, any of these things that you get, that you see out there, they look like some kind of like cattail looking thing. Just grab a bunch of those. There we go, 62 of these. Perfect. I will do it with those instead. And then you can use your internal crafting grid. That was pretty pathetic. And make yourself a whole bunch of, there we go, fresh thatching. Then you can take that, make a whole bunch of wet thatching. What can you do with that? Put it in a kiln so that it can dry. Or, I think it says rain reverses drying process. Or place in world to dry. You can actually place them out in the world and they will just dry over time. So if you don't have a kiln yet, you can actually start making these first thing. Oh, I've got some visitors. Oh, let's find out how good or bad this is going to work. I've got my blade on me just in case. And let's switch that out. Okay. Oh, should probably put... Oh, that's working really good. Yeah, now here's the thing. This is not going to be the best of mob traps because you don't get the items. Where'd the rest of those guys go? Oh, they got stuck on berry bushes. Seriously. Now that I have this, let's start making the good stuff. I want that mat, which is going to just be made with a little bit more leather. 2, 3, and then I craft it up. Oops, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Oh, this is going to be so good. Okay, and of course it is morning, but if you look here, portable bed. This is cyclic. If you're not familiar with cyclic, just know that most things, when it says that you can right-click on it to toggle something, you actually right-click on it in your inventory. So like that, sets spawn point. So now it's kind of glowy to let you know that it's going to do that. So if I want to, boop, I can click here and I could set my spawn point, but I can only sleep at night. And it is now fresh and early in the morning. I'm going to empty out my inventory so that we can go get ourselves some llamas. All right, here we are in the right area. Aha! We have our first customer. But I'm going to eat some food, pick up a few vegetables first, and get a lay of the land for any other llamas in the area, because if I'm not mistaken, if I put a lead on one, they should start forming up if they're close enough. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. Haha. All right, come with me. You here. Yes. Llama. Llama face. All right. We're going to head up here. I'm going to not run. I know. Oh, you brought a friend. This is already going well. This means I don't have to, like, lead several... Oh, do I have 3? I do. I have 3 llamas. And there's a 4th one over there. Oh, how good is this? All right. Let's continue on our little llama train. This might make things a little bit more challenging once we get over to the base. There's so many. All right, here we go. Getting in here. And, oh my gosh, we have a full complement of llamas. How miraculous is this? This is beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna hook you up here. You stay there. In the meantime, I'm gonna block you guys in so that you don't wander off, and I'm gonna go make some more leads. You're still gonna wander off anyway, aren't you? Yeah, yes, you are. I'm gonna make leads very quickly. I'll be back in a moment. All right, there we go. Got myself 3 leads because that's the minimum that I'm gonna need in order to get the ones that I want hooked up. Okay, you. Let me take my shield off here. You can go to this one. You can go to this one. And let's... We've got an escapee! Hey now, what's the big idea? Come here. Yeah, you're taking his place. All right, so there we go. They're just breaking all over the place. So this is the problem with llamas. Okay, and actually I grabbed some of that barley. So let's put some barley here. As you can see, he is walking very slowly around it, despite the other llamas nearby. Oh, and that one already broke off of his lead. But anyway, this guy's doing the thing. And he's just going to grind this thing up automatically, which will take a little bit of time. And if you look at the bottom there's a little bit of stuff on the inside. You don't want to block him or anything. But it needs to be a 7x7 area, at least 2 blocks tall, for this all to happen. Plus, the center block needs to be up 1, and you place your like grinding stone here. Then when it's done, or you want to take the stuff out before, you just right click here. And look, I got barley flour, just like that. It's effortless barley flour, no less. All right, now to just take my wheat up top, toss. Let's see if I can split it half and half. Half in here, and see if this guy starts doing his thing. If they both start to, they do. Look at that. Oh, wonderful. A little bit of teamwork there. And yes, I did get myself some armor, the complete set of the wolf armor. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode on Llama Powah and the wonders of teamwork. So if you guys enjoyed, be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe, and as always, be sure to spread the mischief to others if you think that they'll enjoy this content too. And until next time, folks, I'll see ya.